Hey, what's up boys, it's Fox2, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video, we will be comparing two very legendary and popular IFVs in this game, that being the German Marder A1 and the American M3 Bradley. Now recently I put out a poll asking which one you guys prefer, and it seems like the majority of people prefer the M3 Bradley, and I can see why. On stats it does seem like the better vehicle overall, but today I'm going to be running through those stats and comparing where the Marder excels versus where the M3 Bradley excels the Marder. Starting off, taking a look at their overall mobility. The Marder A1 has 75 km an hour top speed forwards, as well as 75 km an hour backwards, so it's a very mobile vehicle indeed, making it very fun. This is one of the things that makes me really enjoy the Marder. It's just so easy to get in and out of bad situations, especially since you have so little armor. The M3 Bradley, by comparison, only has 66 km an hour top speed forwards and 14 backwards. So it's definitely not as maneuverable, and also it's a lot taller than the Marder, which means it tends to swing and sway from side to side when you try and steer sharply, making it quite unstable. The engine power, the Marder has 21 horsepower per ton as its power to weight ratio, and the M3 Bradley is going slightly better on that with 23 horsepower per ton, but it's not a significant difference. The M3 as well is lighter than the Marder, being only 23 tons while the Marder weighs in at 29, but this doesn't affect the speed difference very significantly. Like I said, the Marder is still significantly more fast than the M3 Bradley. Moving on to their main armament, which obviously is their autocannons. The Marder A1 has got a 20mm gun as its main one, while the M3 Bradley has a 25mm, so we've got a 5mm larger gun on the M3 Bradley. The Bradley has the gun definitely going for it a lot better than what the Marder currently has. The Marder's 20mm gun has got 52mm of penetration with 27 grams of TNT equivalent in each shell. But the M3 by comparison has 78mm of penetration with 54 grams of TNT equivalent packed in the shells, which makes it significantly better at penetrating enemy vehicles than the Marder. So 52mm isn't gonna get you through pretty much anything. 78mm of penetration still struggles, but there are a lot of tanks, like even Leopards, you can penetrate them side. Occasionally even things like the T-54 can be destroyed with your main gun. The only area the Marder's gun excels in is the fire rate. The Marder has an 801 round per minute fire rate, while the M3 Bradley has only 201 rounds per minute. But 800 RPM is not gonna save you when you can't penetrate the enemy. Just because you can blast out those shells so fast, if you're not penetrating, they're pretty much useless. Now moving on to obviously the main focus points of these vehicles, what makes them so enormously popular and fun to play with, is their ATGMs, comparing their ATGM stats together. The Marder has the Milan ATGM, while the Bradley packs the BGM 71A TOW ATGM. They are both pretty incredible, but let's have a look at their stats. The travel speed of the Marder's ATGM is 200 meters per second, while the M3 gets 299, or we can pretty much just make that 300 meters per second, meaning it's gonna be much more reliable at hitting enemy tanks with the Bradley. Having that higher speed in your ATGM, it's gonna mean that the enemy's gonna have a lot harder of a time dodging or getting under cover to avoid being hit by your ATGM. Now the penetration though, the Marder does significantly beat the Bradley when it comes to the penetration value. The Marder has 530 millimeters of penetration, while the Bradley only has 430 millimeters of penetration on its ATGM. Meaning, yeah, it's just gonna be a... well, 530 and 430 both are gonna butter through anyone's armor, but still 530 will give you a better time, especially when dealing with tanks like Tigers, which you will be seeing at this rank, Jagdtigers, and all the other kinds of very armored tanks you will be seeing. Lastly, their reload rate. This is a very interesting part to compare. The Marder fires singular ATGMs with a reload of 12 seconds per shot, while the M3 Bradley, it's got a very unique fire system. You can fire 2 ATGMs, one after the other, or pretty much simultaneously. That's how close you can fire them to each other, and you can guide them both on the same trajectory simultaneously. But then after you fired both of these, you have a 15-second reload time, which, yeah, it is a little bit longer, but 3 seconds, it's actually not too bad a difference, especially when you get that extra two fired ATGMs per shot. So yeah, that is pretty much the comparison of them. I'm not going to really worry about their armor, since that doesn't really matter. They both have pretty much no armor and can be penetrated by almost anything, so that's not something that is really necessary to compare, since they both really fail in that area. As always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below, as always, which vehicle you prefer and which one you think is ultimately the best IFV in the game. With that, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you guys next time.